this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness
that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
This is Trainer Games.
Watch it on Prime Video starting January 8th.
You know what your customers are doing right this second? The exact same thing you are, listening to me. Which, let's be honest, is kind of flattering. But my point is, ads on iHeartRadio actually get heard. In the car, at the gym, on the couch, while people are walking their dogs. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy, that's right, you're a good boy. So why not make the next ad about you? Get started today. Call 844-844-iHeart or go to iHeartAdvertising.com. That's 844-844-iHeart or iHeartAdvertising.com.
Have you considered talking to the president of Colombia, who you call a drug dealer?
No, I haven't really thought too much about him. He's been fairly hostile to the United States, and he's going to have himself some big problems if he doesn't wise up. Colombia is producing a lot of drugs. They have cocaine factories that they make cocaine, as you know, and they sell it right into the United States. So he better wise up, or he'll be next. He'll be next, too. And I hope he's listening. He's going to be next.
You're listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson.
Good Thursday morning. It's so nice to have you with us on the 47 Morning Update, and we've got one big story for you. Donald Trump made a promise to keep us safe, especially from the drugs that were killing countless Americans with fentanyl overdoses. Well, now the president is going after some of those cartel individuals, including Venezuela. Trump now says the U.S. has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela in a massive move. I've got all the details for you and what this means going forward. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Patriot Mobile. Every so often, something happens that reminds us just how fragile our freedoms are. We can't afford to take our rights for granted. We must draw a line in the sand. And our friends at Patriot Mobile have been doing just that for more than 12 years. The truth is, there is only one provider that boldly stands in the gap for Americans who believe freedom is worth fighting for. And that company is Patriot Mobile. Not only are they leading the red economy, they're also outpacing the competition in technology. Patriot Mobile is one of the only carriers offering premium access to all three major U.S. networks, giving you nationwide coverage and service that you can count on day after day. They also offer unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, internet backup, and so much more. And switching has never been easier. You can activate in minutes on your phone from your home or your office. And you keep your same number you've got now, keep your same phone, or upgrade to a new one. And this is where the magic happens. Every month, about 5% of your bill is given back to conservative causes at no extra cost to you that stand up for our First and our Second Amendment rights, the rights of unborn children, and our wounded warriors, and those that have fought for our country and wear a badge. So take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Ben47 or call 972-PATRIOT. And if you use the promo code Ben47, you're going to get a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Ben47 or 972-PATRIOT and make the switch today. It's the 47 Morning Update, and it starts right now.
Story number one.
You can file this story under "This is exactly what I voted for" when I voted for President Donald Trump. The United States has seized a large oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela in a major escalation of tensions between Washington and Caracas, is how the mainstream media put it. In reality, this is a huge victory for law and order. President Donald Trump publicly announced the seizure at the White House, describing the vessel as a very large tanker. Here's the president in his own words.
Well, thank you very much. It's been an interesting day from the standpoint of news. As you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And other things are happening, so you'll be seeing that later, and you'll be talking about that later with some other people.
The president's grin on his face at the White House for this moment where he decided to talk to the media for a second and tease them about exactly what had happened, the largest ever seized oil tanker by U.S. forces, truly is law and order. The operation was executed by U.S. authorities, including the U.S. Coast Guard, the FBI, Homeland Security investigations, Navy support assets, and these forces coordinated the boarding of the tanker, even shown in a public video that has been released. Now let's talk about the tanker itself. It is called the Skipper. It was formerly known as Odessa and flagged in Panama. The ship was sanctioned by the United States for years because U.S. officials say it was involved in transporting illicit Venezuelan and potentially Iranian oil in violation of U.S. sanctions. It was reportedly heading towards Cuba, carrying Venezuelan crude oil. U.S. authorities justified the seizure by saying the tanker was transporting oil in violation of U.S. sanctions and part of an illicit oil shipping network that it supports sanctioned entities, including direct ties to Iran. President Trump also stated publicly that the tanker was seized for a very good reason. He didn't publicly disclose full legal grounds or the ship's ownership in detail. That will be coming in the days ahead. But what we do know is Venezuela's reaction is exactly what you would expect. The Venezuelan government, led by Nicolas Maduro, strongly condemned the actions, called the seizure theft, an act of international piracy. Caracas says the move violates its sovereignty and is driven by U.S. interests in Venezuela's natural resources and oil wealth. Venezuela has vowed to raise the issue at the international, quote, forums. Now, the seizure has heightened geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela to a new level, is how Reuters put it this evening. It contributed to a rise in global oil prices because of concern about disruptions to Venezuelan oil exports, which are embargoed, admitting now in the world market that, yes, these black ships and this oil that is not supposed to be sold is happening each and every day. Which brings me to part 2 of the story, as the left is trying to act like this is some shocking move. Even CNN security analyst says that America seizing an oil tanker is, quote, absolutely normal. Yes, even on CNN, they're saying that this is normal and law and order. Listen carefully.
Let's bring in CNN national security analyst Beth Sanner. Beth, first of all, a lot of people don't understand the basic idea of what's going on here. Nicolas Maduro, who is in charge of Venezuela, president of Venezuela, he's there because of fraud. Like, he should not be the leader of Venezuela.
Right.
He
lost the election.
He lost the election, and he kept power instead. President Trump is not. My larger point is that President Trump is it's not wild for people in the West to think Maduro is not there legitimately.
Right.
And there has been this pressure campaign from President Trump for him to step down. Seizing an oil tanker.
Yeah.
That's a much bigger deal and a much bigger than these narco-terrorist boats, as the president calls them, people shooting them. Seizing a tanker. How could this escalate the conflict with Venezuela?
Well, you know, we've had sanctions on Venezuelan oil since the first Trump administration. And
Biden kept them.
Kept them.
Yeah.
So, to me, this is absolutely normal. I mean...
Seizing an oil tanker?
Yeah. We've been seizing Iranian oil tankers in the past. We also, according to the law that I've read, that oil is up for forfeiture. So we could keep that. We've kept Iranian oil in the past. So I actually think that this is less controversial in terms of law and sanctions and what has been, disputed or not disputed. Like, I think this is actually a pretty, check the box case. Mm-hmm. Now, what will this mean in terms of escalation? What is he going to do? What is Maduro going to do? Is he going to step aside because we're sanctioning this oil? I mean, we pick up this oil tanker. It's one oil tanker, probably not.
And it's unlikely that he would.
You listen to CNN and the analysts there. I love how Jake Tapper acts like he's shocked when she says America seizes oil tankers, and we've done this in the past. It's absolutely normal. But they're trying to act like this is some shocking move. By the way, the President of the United States of America made it clear this was going to be something they were going to do, which comes down to the video that has come out showing just how powerful the United States military can be and law enforcement can be when they decide to act and are able to do their job because of a president of the United States of America that's willing to allow them to do their job. Here's how Fox News described the taking of that oil tanker.
Dramatic new video as the U.S. seizes an oil tanker off the Venezuelan coast. President Trump did not say why, but he did say, quote, other things are happening. The administration has been striking alleged narco-terrorist vessels near Venezuela and is putting heavy pressure on disputed President Nicolas Maduro. Senior foreign policy correspondent Jillian Turner starts us off tonight from the State Department. Good evening, Jillian.
Good evening to you, Bet. President Trump confirms the United States military has seized this crude oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela after insisting for months now that the U.S. is, in fact, at war with drug cartels that are running these boats in the U.S. Southcom region. We've obtained this video that the Attorney General Pam Bondi posted on social media just a moment ago. You can see here during this seizure, she says the FBI, the Homeland Security Department, and Coast Guard executed this operation with support from the War Department. You can see here U.S. service members landing a military helicopter on this vessel before then disembarking and entering. The U.S. had issued a warrant, we are learning, for this crude oil tanker, alleging it had been used to transport illegal oil from Venezuela and Iran in support of foreign terrorist organizations. The seizure comes after senior officials presented the president with potential war plans and then deployed major Navy assets to the region. While the president himself declined to state a reason for today's seizure, which could very well constitute an act of war, he did say this.
Could we see American troops on the ground in Venezuela?
I don't comment on that. I wouldn't say that one way or the other.
Part of it is because
in this case, President Trump says the victor will, in fact, take the spoils.
Where does it go? What port does it go to?
Well, you have to follow the tanker. You know, you're a good newsman. Just follow the tanker. Get a helicopter and follow the tanker.
Is it true he's going to?
But we're going to, I assume we're going to keep the
The U.S. military strikes on these alleged drug boats in the region have so far killed at least 87 people, a death toll that's become increasingly the focus of scrutiny on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers have zeroed in on this so-called double tap strike that was carried out on September 2nd. Now, yesterday, the Secretaries of State and War briefed key lawmakers on Capitol Hill about these September 2nd boat strikes. They indicated reportedly that they are at least considering the option to release the full unedited video footage of those strikes that day. Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer told reporters after the briefing that Secretary Hegseth said to him they need to study these tapes before they make a determination. Brett?
Jillian Turner live at the State Department. Jillian, thank you.
So there it is. A president standing up for this country, holding these narco-terrorists accountable, seizing the oil and the tankers that are being used to prop up a regime that is coming after America, and also working with Iran. And what's the point of having, I would say to those on the left, sanctions if you don't actually enforce them? These sanctions, by the way, have been around in Democrats' administrations, including Biden, including Barack Obama's. But if you don't enforce the sanctions on these countries, they're meaningless. So really what the president's doing is something pretty simple. He's saying we have sanctions. We are going to take them seriously. We are going to enforce them. And we're going to make them pay a major price. And all of this is to make sure that we keep this country safe from these narco-terrorists that have been flooding this country, Venezuela is a great example, with drugs and fentanyl that is killing tens of thousands of Americans. Well done, President Trump.
Thank you for listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson. Please make sure you hit subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. And for more in-depth news, Also, subscribe to the Ben Ferguson podcast, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness
that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
This is Trainer Games.
Watch it on Prime Video starting January 8th.
You know what your customers are doing right this second? The exact same thing you are, listening to me. Which, let's be honest, is kind of flattering. But my point is, ads on iHeartRadio actually get heard. In the car, at the gym, on the couch, while people are walking their dogs. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy, that's right, you're a good boy. So why not make the next ad about you? Get started today. Call 844-844-iHeart or go to iHeartAdvertising.com. That's 844-844-iHeart or iHeartAdvertising.com.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.